everybody, how's it going? All right, so today I come to you with a story about one of my favorite topics. No, it's not really, but that's why I'm here. Biological men in women's sports, in particular combat sports, and in particular boxing. Okay, so this is something that I do have a passion about. It does get me in a certain way because that I used to box. So for you, the trans activists out there, before you get your knickers in a twist, um, for those of you who aren't boxers and aren't female, just stand back for a little bit. Or if you're not an athlete or play sports competitively or professionally or looking to do that, please just stand back from this conversation for a little bit. Let the big guns talk, okay? Because I've seen a lot of people chiming in on this that are coming from a standpoint of like a human rights, this and that. There's human rights, you should be protecting women, and I'm sorry, there's no way, shape, or form that a biological male going through puberty, if you're born with those genes, it doesn't matter how strong you are, your testosterone levels, and albeit Women's Boxing USA, they've made a big list of things that the criteria for eligibility, excuse me, for to be able to box. And so you have to be over 18. You have to have a sex change. There's a bunch of other things. It still leaves a disadvantage to the women. Just one that's allowed to do it anyway. Think of a 40-year-old male, a 30-year-old male, a 20-year-old male that's grown up as a man. Height difference, leg, reach. There's so many things, and I mean, this is one combat sport, so you're using your hands, but your legs are moving you as well. So, with your footwork, speed, how where men hold their weight and where women hold their weight is totally different. You've already got the development of the male with his muscles and bigger organs. You've got bigger lungs. There's Come on, the list is endless about the differences, why we already have these categories there. So I think that the issue now, I mean, there's a lot of bodies that have put in these um, put in these laws in place now, which are really damaging to women psychologically as well to know, and getting into these combat sports, but to increase the risk now for women who are already in a more vulnerable state. It was really hard for us to even be recognised, even to get fights. I don't know how it is in America. They've got a bigger population. In Australia, to get someone in your weight division was so difficult. So there's so many challenges already. Some states didn't want you to fight. They didn't believe in women in the ring, with women in the kitchen. We haven't come that far. I mean, it wasn't that long ago when that was happening. We're talking, 15, 20 years ago. Um, I don't know where this is going. Some places in America have already, well, around the world, let's say, have started to pull back. So, whether it's swimming, they've taken out men from women's swimming, thank God. So they should have. The Olympics has removed it. There's other bodies, Napa with jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But now boxing America's gone the other way. So I don't know what's happening here. And some people will have the opinion to put it onto the fighters. Okay, but you might say, I'm not a current fighter. Like, it doesn't matter, whatever. I was once, and I think okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. But it's not also, it shouldn't be put onto the fighters. If I was fighting now, I would hate for someone to put that pressure onto me. There's bodies in place to protect us. Okay? When I'm in the ring and I'm fighting and I'm doing my thing, I protect myself then. But I shouldn't be fighting someone who has an advantage over me. No girl should. They'll take the fight. I will take fights with anybody. But did they take dangerous fights, fights that I shouldn't have, fights that I was outmatched, outclassed, weight difference, all of the above? Yeah, because you just want to fight. You want to do what you've been training to do for you, to take on any challenge. We're talking about fighters here, okay? The mentality of boxers. You've got a different brain. We're different people to choose to go and get punched in the face for fun. Okay, so think about that. Yeah, they're going to say yes. Any girl that says, yeah, I'll fight that dude, or I don't mind, or give everyone a chance. But in reality, they shouldn't have to. That's the point. All right, so imagine Mike Tyson. um, went and had a gender reassignment now. So he's had everything done. He does all the markers, okay? Even him as a 40, so whatever, how old he is, 50-year-old dude, he's trained his whole life as a male boxer. I don't care what level you put his estrogen at. You put him in the ring with any woman his size, they, come on. What are we talking about here? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can I can make so many other examples of the same thing, but I'm not going to because it's pointless. If you don't see that, that's fine. But I just thought it'd be nice to watch this news article in particular because it wasn't as biased or one-sided as any of the others, and I really don't. I like to look at how everyone's thinking about things, and as much as things are very much politically driven and they know you know where it's coming, what's going on, and the rest of it, I guess everybody to make a proper decision needs to have the most information, which is, you need to hear multiple sources, you need to hear multiple opinions, you need to hear as much information as possible. So that being said, yeah, let's watch this interview about how the world is changing.
In and out of the ring, the new 2024 guidelines now allowing biological men over the age of 18 who've transitioned to female to compete against biological women. The guidelines require that the athlete has declared that her gender identity is female and has completed gender reassignment surgery. The athlete, for a minimum of 4 years, has their hormones tested quarterly, demonstrates that her total testosterone level falls within a qualifying level, maintains her testosterone level within a qualifying range, and complies with these conditions at their own expense. Of course, critics punching back, saying that regardless of the gender reassignment, it is dangerous for biological women to compete with transgender women. Critics include Ebony Bridges, an International Boxing Federation world champ, who tweeted, "I don't care about political correctness. It's politically incorrect to have a man fighting a woman. I don't care. That's exactly what it is. This society's too soft. This is our health and safety. The girls need to stick together. Women's sports in 50 years will be filled with male-born champions." Back with us, former Trump campaign surrogate Scottie Nell Hughes, former CNN editor-at-large Chris Cillizza, and comedian and self-appointed liberal. You identify as a liberal, correct?
I identify as a testosterone-ridden, progressive, enlightened.
So what do you make of this?
I had more adjectives to describe how I identify. I'll tell you what I make of it. My eyes roll through the back of my tightly wrapped skull when I hear about these stories of trans athletes. I find them so inconsequential to my life and even to the sport that I don't really think a lot about them. I will let USA Boxing and other female boxers say how they feel. And I've read from a lot of point of view, female boxers like, bring it on. They do have to have surgery and hormone replacement. I think this is a red herring for us to be distracted by. I don't know any trans athletes in my life, in my community, in my state. The ones that do exist get a tremendous amount of coverage. They almost always lose. Let these people, however.
All right, stop right there. I mean, this guy is right. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything about sports. He doesn't know any female boxers. The one he's spoken to or he's read about speaking about it are like, bring it on. And again, I just said, you don't put the onus is not on the fighter now. I mean, what's the associations for then? All right, so then why don't we just make up our own fights and not have these bodies to protect us? Are we happy to fight men? If we've got no choice, girls are gonna be like, yeah, they're ready for a fight. They'll fight you right now. Whatever, bring it. That logic just makes no sense to me. Okay, and it's inconsequential to him, and to the sport. He said, is it? He also said that that they take up a lot of time on the news. This does, and they always lose. No, I don't. What news are you watching? Have you not seen how many medals and records have been broken and trophies taken away, titles taken away, positions, sponsorship and so many other things come with that, scholarships and the like. What? But this guy's a comedian, so he's probably joking.
They identify, beat the hell out of each other in boxing.
Here's Caitlyn Jenner talking about this.
Oh, good.
Let's listen.
It makes them look selfish, self-indulged. It's like all about me. It's not about all these other girls I'm beating. I don't even play in my golf in my club's women's tournaments. They've asked me to play in the women's golf tournament.
Oh, yeah?
But I can outdrive them by 100 yards. I haven't been on testosterone in 8 years, and I can still hit the ball 280 yards.
I have no doubt. Elizabeth Case.
Facts. Like, the world knows what it is. I don't know how the top of these bodies make positive decisions. Like, everyone wants to, who's running this? Like, is anyone, all of these pushers, these paper pushers, pencil pushers, what we call it, pencil pushers? Yeah, don't use pencils anymore. Don't even use that saying. There are all of these people at the top really that disconnected with sports and biology. I don't know how you've got that job. Like, I feel like this is just like literally people have never done any exercise or sport in their life, have maybe never been in a room with the opposite sex. I don't know exactly how this conclusion comes about, but here we are. And look, I don't want to make personal attacks to people, to people's characters, to people's opinions even. Everything I say is just how I feel about things, and I'm happy to change my mind about anything. Just give me more proof to dispute the current accepted story and narrative, and we'll do that. You show me how there's a disadvantage, how there's no disadvantage, sorry. Show me how this is not dangerous with irrefutable proof, and I'm there, but I'm not being told or shown anything. So I don't know why everyone's just buying this, especially these top bodies. And unless more people start talking up and making, common sense common again, this is a problem. But I'm laughing, but it's not really that funny. This is quite dangerous for women. Anyway, back to the story.
Stanton and her fellow suffragists would be so disappointed in the modern feminist movement and what we've allowed today. I find it interesting. This is only happening in athletic arenas. I mean, you never hear of a transgender woman wanting to compete in chess or the Academic Bowl or any others. No, it's always where they know that they're going to have a superior complex because of their physical abilities.
The chess.
Yeah, why don't they have them in chess?
They are competing in chess.
Do they separate?
Why is that? Why?
Do they separate men and women in chess?
And why is that?
That can't be your point. Make a different one.
No, that's absolutely my point.
Chess.
Because it shows physically there is a difference between men and women, but not necessarily.
Men and women compete in chess.
No, but I'm saying in athletics, they only do that in athletics. They don't do it in academics.
Chris.
I think I'm with Pete to the extent that I feel.
Right, I don't know what the heck she was going on about. I was trying to be with her, but yeah, anyway.
Like it's a cul-de-sac issue a little bit.
Right. Look, here's the thing.
It's just all
right, let's agree this is not the issue that is going to determine the fate of the nation. Okay, we all agree on that, right? And let's all agree that Fox News spends way too much on this time on this topic.
Right.
Fair
politicians,
enough.
Republican politicians.
Fine. But
it's growing.
It's still
a growing issue.
It is still an interesting issue. It does impact athletes. It does relate. We cover sports a lot. We focus on sports a lot. You could say sports in general get too much attention. What do they matter? Because they don't determine the future of the republic. That's true too. But we cover sports, and we cover this one, and it seems kind of nuts to me that they're allowing this to happen.
So
How do you feel?
On a good day, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
When I'm standing up straight. if I went through this process, and Pete rightly notes, I mean, it's not like a 2-day process, right?
Right.
You have the surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a process.
Right.
And
if I went through
that,
let me get to the but. Let me get to the but. If I went through that process, I would still be 6'3" and likely fighting someone who is. I mean, I'm not.
No, there's a weight class. In boxing, you would be only fighting someone who's 6'3" and whatever you weigh, around that. It's weight classes. So maybe your bones would be more dense or something. But listen, there aren't any trans female boxers that are probably going to make it that far. I mean, let's talk about it then, but it's not an issue. There's very.
Excuse me. Wow, so much there, right there. This guy, I love you. Thank you. Just showing like the stupidity. I'm wondering, is this a joke or what? He's a comedian. Is this a joke that he's saying right now? Dude, you just said, yeah, it would be around that. It would be the same weight, not the same height. Did you see they have stats there? Okay, so you can have two fighters. They're in the same weight category. They're not going to have the same height. You get the measurements of everything, their reach, how many punches. There's a lot of things, information that we put up. I would like you to have a look, okay? Get the same weight of a man and a woman, the stats of how many punches in the fight, of their record, of their whatever it may be. And, men and women put their weight in different places as well. And like you said, the bone density and all of that. It's not the same. A man has the same weight as a woman is not in the same weight category. It's not the same at all. Then he said, oh, there's probably, let's be real, there's probably no one who's going to do that. How the fuck do you know that? Why have a law for it then? Why make a law where it's possible? Then why don't we deal with it when that's going to happen? Because it's happening now. Oh my.
Few of them doing it. There's very few of them competing.
But isn't this a terrible issue for liberals in general? I mean, shouldn't liberals I think your position is the right one, which is we don't want to talk about this. It's just a bad issue for us, right? For liberal, because it's ridiculous when you think about it from a big picture. The idea they have to get this much hormones and this, it just seems like an issue that liberals should just want to say we don't want to talk about this.
I agree.
Right?
Yes, I would say that if you want to talk about the political outcomes, maybe, but I would look at it from a human point of view. I don't think it's a terrible issue for people like me who identify as liberal and progressive to care about people who aren't like me. That's who we are.
Mate, you're liberal, you're progressive, okay, if they're the only two things you are, you're also a man, you're not a woman. Women are people not like you, so you don't give a fuck about us? Clearly. Suck a dick.
That's how we think.
But to your point,
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your...
Okay, well, that's basically that story. I don't think I need to add anything more there. My position is quite firm and known. I think I've made that clear how I feel about all that. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, look, again, I'm here to listen. I'm happy to listen. I would like to know people's different experiences. If you have reasons why you really think that this is a good thing, let me know. There's no hate here. Honestly, my mind's just blown coming from that world. So yeah, all right, let's talk about this because it's just the start. It's not here in Australia yet, but it's not going to be far away. So yeah, it's happening through a lot of sports now, and need to stand up and start protecting women, like going so backwards with many things. So until the next video coming soon, I'll see you later. Take care, stay safe. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. If you can like it, if you like it, if you don't have to. If you like the conversation even, or the idea of having conversations, maybe like it. Otherwise, yeah, check you later. Bye.